Hi everyone, it's Anne, and I'm back today with another Browse the Stacks video. And for this week, in honor of Indigenous Peoples Day, which is October 11th here in the States, I thought I would bring you some books that are by Native American authors. So let's get into it. The first book I have to talk about is Crooked Hallelujah by Kelli Jo Ford. I'm going to read a little about her from the back. Kelli Jo Ford is a citizen of the Cherokee Nation of Oklahoma. She is the recipient of numerous awards and fellowships. Her fiction has appeared in multiple respected publications. So just a little blurb from the back cover to give you an idea of what people were saying about this book. Brandon Hobson says, Crooked Hallelujah masterfully evokes loss and displacement steeped in Native American culture, rife with compassion and deep understanding. Kelli Jo Ford is a powerful new Native American writer who writes beautifully with stunning prose. She is brilliant, and I can't wait for people to read her amazing book. BuzzFeed says, Ford's Crooked Hallelujah is more than just a really great title. It's the book that's going to be taught in creative writing programs for decades to come. This has been on my reading list for a while. I checked it out for this video, but since it's checked out to me, I'm taking it home to read it too. Excited to look at this one. And you probably want to know what it's about. That might be helpful, huh? So, it's 1974 in the Cherokee Nation of Oklahoma, and 15-year-old Justine is pregnant, much to the dismay of her holy rolling mother Lula and her steadfast granny. And it goes on to describe some more of the book and says, with breathtaking literary intensity, Kelli Jo Ford depicts what this family of brave Cherokee women sacrifice for those they love, seamlessly weaving together the voices of mothers and daughters as they confront life's beautiful and harrowing complexities through the larger forces of history, religion, class, and culture. The next book I have to talk about is A History of Kindness by Linda Hogan, and this is a book of poems. I don't often talk about poetry on here. I don't read a lot of poetry personally, and I mean, that's a hole in my reading experience. So let's take a look at what this one has to say. Linda Hogan is a Pulitzer Prize finalist. The biography in the back of the book, and isn't that an interesting cover? I really like that art. It's attention grabbing. Linda Hogan, Chickasaw, is an internationally recognized author and speaker. Her novel Mean Spirit was a finalist for the Pulitzer Prize, and her poetry collection, The Book of Medicines, was a National Book Critics Circle Award finalist. Her most recent book of poetry is Dark, Sweet, New and Selected Poems. She has a long list of accomplishments and awards listed too. So I don't spoil any of the poetry, I'm not going to read it out loud, but again, here's a little blurb from the cover, and admire that cover art while I'm looking at it. Linda Hogan explores new and old ways of experiencing the verities of the body and existing in harmony with Earth's living beings in a history of kindness. Luis Alberto Urrea, author of The House of Broken Angels, says Hogan is essential, a mighty and bedrock voice in American letters. Barbara Kingsolver, author of Unsheltered and some other big books you've probably heard of, with her unparalleled gifts for truth and magic, Hogan reinforces my faith in reading, writing, and living. Now, the last book I have to talk about is an older book by a famous author, Louise Erdrich. Now, you might be familiar with some of her more recent work. In fact, you might have read all of her work. I don't know what you've read. Who's to say? But what I want to point out about this book is the last report on the miracles at Little No Horse. Fun fact, you can tell if a book is older in our collection if it has this sticker on it and no barcode up here, if the barcode's on the inside. So there you go. Things you didn't know you wanted to know, and I'm sure are delighted to now know. But moving on. Louise Erdrich grew up in North Dakota and is a mixed blood enrolled in the Turtle Mountain Band of Ojibwa. She is the author of 7 novels, and this is outdated, so she's written more than this. You might, The Night Watchman, and I want to say she has another one coming out soon. Hopefully I'm not raising hopes only to dash them, but take a peek. Okay, so here's a little bit from the front cover about this book. For more than half a century, Father Damien Modeste has served his people, the Ojibwa, on the remote reservation of Little No Horse. Compelled to his task by a direct mystical experience, Father Damien has made enormous sacrifices and experienced the joys of commitment as well as deep suffering. Now, nearing the end of his life, Father Damien dreads the discovery of his physical identity, for he is a woman who has lived as a man. He imagines the undoing of all that he has accomplished, sees unions unsundered, baptisms nullified, those who confess to him once again unforgiven. To complicate his fears, his quiet life changes when a troubled colleague comes to the reservation to investigate the life of the perplexing, difficult, possibly false saint, Sister Leopolda. So I want to note again that this theme of this video with Indigenous or Native American authors is in honor of Indigenous Peoples Day, which is October 11th. Come see our in-library display with some information about Wisconsin Indigenous peoples, about why Indigenous People Day is celebrated, and some books we have with related reading that you might enjoy. So thanks for watching. Let me know if you are reading any of these, interested in reading any of these, or have other recommendations. Thanks everybody. Bye now.